Let's review days 11 through 14, starting with a fun new addition, which is our Vald force frame. Shout out to Vald and Chris for this loaner. First, see this force frame. What the heck is that thing? I can say I generally grew to love it. Shout out to Brew right there, my Rottweiler pup. And it does take some getting used to, but it is a phenomenal tool of which I'm really grateful for. I have no affiliation in or financial output from Vald at all. Genuinely just really enjoyed the product. This was their older generation, but this day I got it in, was more so familiarizing myself with it, as we're going to have some lower outputs on both the healthy side and the rehab side. But all in all, I love it. I brought it in my classroom for exercise physiology labs. Kids were feeling the same way, where they're like, oh, what the heck is that thing? And they grew to love it. It's via Bluetooth to any iOS devices, as well as Windows, I was made aware of. Overall, great experience. And then into day 12, which is October 3rd, get a little bit more serious with it. Rehab leg up in the thousands finally. And then our rehab leg, these are very long and slow, so 593 newtons. I believe then this day, as well as 13 and 14, the cap was at around 600 if we're feeling up to it. Always on a rep by rep basis about how we're feeling, fatigue wise, if there's any pain, if swelling is a little bit too much that day, then we kind of lower it down. But as you'll see with the healthy leg, we'll have some more violent contractions with isometrics, whereas the Achilles side, we're definitely taking it a little bit easy. Day 13, which is the 4th of October, we did 3 reps of the standing weight bearing exercise. So you can see there with the Hawk Dynamics live feed. We also have a very cool setup of this exact same exercise in the last clip, which was really fun. Change of scenery, you could say. Then some yielding isometrics, 5 times speed, because no one wants to sit through a full minute of someone just at a top plantar flexion position. But overall, pretty fun. I cut that up into half, so 60 seconds. As long as I could for the first portion was about like 40 seconds, slight break, right into the final 20. And then increasing some volume, sped it up here just to showcase that the volume is being completed, building that tissue tolerance. And then we had some loading in a fixed position, followed by some loading in a multi-planar, multi-directional loading. So fixed position of the ankle, foot, lower shank, but the angle of tension, the loading is different depending on the angle at which it's applied. So inversion, eversion, the usuals, and then we had some foot slides, something I need to work on. As simple as it is, it definitely was a major limiter. And then we had some loading through range of motion, which this is one of the first times I actually induced any loading throughout range of motion, in which there is a change in that musculotendon unit that is planned. That makes sense. During asymmetric contractions, there is some movement there, but not to the degree of a dynamic eccentric or concentric contraction. And then the final day of this series, rehab leg up to 397, we're going to see this pop up quite a bit. This is probably one of the first reps. So we're starting nice and easy, filling it out. These days were pretty strung together in terms of the first, third, fourth, and fifth. This one we just didn't know the output. I think I had a misreading or didn't go through with the quiet phase. 602, so definitely hitting that peak. Obviously feeling very good this day. 607, awesome. And this is our new standing weight bearing. I know I'm talking this, but I'm just going to talk over it. So essentially we have the tablet up there. This is when it was still connected via Android, but you could do this with iOS now, which is even better because I'm an iOS fan for sure. I have the monitor to my left hooked up to the Hawk Dynamic web server. I'm collecting the data via the tablet itself, but once I hit save on there, I'll zoom in right here just to showcase that live reading that I just took was placed on there, and then I can look at the data from a different computing device. Although I can look at it from both devices, this is a really cool way to, I would prefer to scroll through, look at data on a larger screen. This is very, very helpful. Looking at peak values only, not the relative values, just because from test to test, I'm going to change how much pressure I put onto the plate, how much ground reaction force I'm putting on the plate from the start, which is indicated as your system weight, which is so important, whether it's jumping, isometrics, that you have a good quiet phase or standing phase to make sure that all data after that is properly gathered and analyzed, there forward.